A long-forgotten tourist resort once existed down in the Grand Canyon from 1914 to 1930 that provided elegant overnight accommodations for up to 50 people. It was called Hermit Camp. Today, only some foundation ruins can be seen that puzzle passing hikers. After the Grand Canyon Hermit, Louis Boucher left the canyon in 1909. The Santa Fe Railroad and the Fred Harvey Company took over control of his former domain about 8 miles west of Grand Canyon Village. They put together grand plans for the first major resort to be established down in the canyon, a decade before Phantom Ranch was established. First, in 1911, an 8-mile road named Hermit Rim Road was built following the rim from Grand Canyon Village to a rest stop they named Hermit's Rest. One tourist, Caroline Ballard of California, wrote,
"This drive makes one shiver all of the way. We went so near the edge that if one of the horses would shy a little, over we would go. I was so shaky I could not talk, and I had to look over among the trees."
Next, Hermit Trail was greatly improved to allow tourists to descend about 8 miles to Hermit Creek and then another mile to the Colorado River. Early hikers on the trail proclaimed that Hermit Trail was a better trail than Bright Angel Trail, although still scary. Emily Howe, of Maine, wrote about her mule trip in 1915 going down Hermit Trail.
The first mile was down such a steep grade that I thought I should go over my mule's head at every step. I looked down hundreds of feet as we zigzagged along.
Down in the canyon, in 1914, a luxury resort camp was built above Hermit Creek. It included initially a dining hall, mule barn, and 11 canvas cabins. The resort was named Hermit Camp. Looking down from the rim, one man said,
"Hermit Camp looks like the roofs of houses for wrens or other small birds."
The cabins had pine floors, leveled by stone foundations. The sides and roofs were made from canvas. Comfortable beds with fresh linens, an Indian-style rug, chairs, and a small wood stove for cool evenings were highlights of the interior. Some visitors even had electricity, showers, and telephone service. At the heart of the main building was a dining hall fully stocked with fresh produce, meat, and ice. A married couple served as camp hosts. They lived down there year-round and only came up to the rim 4 to 5 times a year. A visitor said,
"Hermit Camp is not an ordinary camp, for it has a chef from Chicago and comfortable beds. The sides and roofs of the tents are of cloth, through which the fresh night air filters."
Typically, tourists would ride on a stage from El Tovar Hotel to Hermit's Rest, where they would stop for a brief rest. Then they would descend Hermit Trail on mules to the camp, hike to the river and back, eat a wonderful supper, stay overnight, and ride back up the next morning. The cost for the trip, meals, and overnight accommodations was $18.25, valued at about $350 today. So most of the visitors were rather wealthy. An aerial tramway was constructed in 1925 from Pima Point to Hermit Camp. It was a great way to bring supplies down to the camp. It was thought to be the longest single-span cableway in the country, 6,300 feet between the top and bottom without intermediate supports. In the late 1920s, Hermit Camp lost priority and attention after Phantom Ranch was opened and became the more attractive destination for tourists who wanted to reach the bottom of the canyon. Hermit Camp experienced a decline in visitors. After a fire destroyed the dining hall in 1930, it was decided to close the camp. It was then left to deteriorate for several years until the Park Service ordered the Fred Harvey Company to dismantle what was left and clean up the area in 1936. The 18 buildings were demolished, and the tramway was dismantled. Lastly, a huge blaze was conducted by the railroad company as it torched anything left.
The flames, leaping high in the darkness, illuminated the canyon depths with an eerie light which covered a 10-mile area. Smoldering ashes marked all that remained of Hermit Camp, picturesque old landmark of the Grand Canyon.
Today, remnants of the long-forgotten camp that delighted hundreds of visitors can be seen that include the building foundations, sidewalks, a cellar, a corral, and the tramway's concrete foundations, steel wheels and cables.
This video was created by the Grand Canyon Historical Society. Visit us and become a member at grandcanyonhistory.org. Also subscribe to our Grand Canyon History YouTube channel to receive more videos.